Gamers, gamers, gamers. Welcome to a new series that we're going to be starting here on OffBeat Gamez, where Zucchini or myself will be looking at a Switch game from the past and tell you if it's still worth buying it. So with that, I am Hobbs, and today we're going to be looking at if Super Mario Odyssey is still worth it. Now, let me give you some background information about Super Mario Odyssey. First off, it was released October 27th, 2017. 3 years, 6 months, and 2 days ago, or about 1,273 days ago. Wow, this game has been out for a while. Honestly, I can't believe it's been that long since this great game has come out. So this is the first full 3D Mario game since Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Nintendo Wii. We're not gonna count 3D World because it was more of like a linear 3D game, but it was still a good game. Anyways, also it was one of the top launching titles for the Switch in 2017 along with Breath of the Wild. Well, it kinda came out 8-ish months after Breath of the Wild did in the Switch, but it was still one of those games that helped the Switch grow to what it is today. Also, as of December 31st, 2020, it had sold over 20 million copies. And in 2017 alone, for the 2-ish months that it was out, it sold over 9 million copies, making it one of the best-selling Switch games of that year. Now, why was it one of the best-selling Switch games of 2017? Well, let me tell you why. Now, let's compare Super Mario Odyssey to some of the other 3D Mario games of the past. First off, we have Super Mario 64, the game that started it all. And in all its glory and all that, Odyssey still retains the 3D mechanics that that game had, but bumps it up a notch or two. And it still has the awesome controls that that game had, but it is way smoother and way better. We're gonna get into that soon. Next, the summertime classic, I guess you could say, Super Mario Sunshine. And Odyssey brings more of that 3D world mechanic and vibe from Sunshine into this game. Next, Super Mario Galaxy. Now this game really helps Odyssey to retain that linear pace, but in all its fairness, Odyssey is more of a really open world game, but you still have to have that linear pace and such a sense of direction for the player, and I think that's where Galaxy comes into play to help Odyssey out there. Now, for Super Mario Galaxy 2, you got that really cool world map from the game, but it's way better. Yeah. Even though Odyssey still takes mechanics from all the past 3D Marios, it still stands from those games in its own and unique ways. And one of the really great features that I mentioned from 64 is the controls. Now, let me tell you about the controls. Now, the controls. Let me just say, the controls just feel right. Like it feels so good in your hands compared to other games. It feels different in a sense. And it feels like you're in control. And I think Nintendo really tried to make it so that when you are holding the controller, and you like see all the moves that Odyssey has, it makes you feel like you could do anything or go anywhere. And props to them because the controls for this game are phenomenal. Yeah, you got your casual ground pound, wall jump, dive, triple jump. But you literally have everything that has ever been in a 3D Mario game. Like, you got a roll, long jump, that I forgot to mention, ground pound jump, sideways somersault, backwards somersault, and the list just goes on and on. And with the addition of Cappy, the companion that you're going to take on this trip to save the princess, there are just so many more options. And let's just say, if you make a mistake in this game, like fall off something or anything like that, it's on you, because the controls are just flawless. Now let me tell you something about this game. It looks gorgeous. And this is probably one of the best Mario games I've ever seen. It's probably one of the best looking there's ever been. Like, this game looks amazing. There was so much detail in it, and Nintendo always tries to capture the little details in games. Like, in Wooden Kingdom, for example, I can literally look at a leaf. Just a leaf. Notice the dark sides, the light sides, the different tones, the shades, like everything. And it's just little details that Nintendo does that makes this feel so much more important. And I think Nintendo wanted this game to be so much more than just a game. And I think they wanted it to feel like something brand new. And I really think they did that. Now, from a technical standpoint, the game runs at 1080p in docked mode and 720p in handheld mode. And runs at 60 frames per second, and honestly, I'm not really good at the techie stuff. As long as it runs smooth and all that, I'm good. But I mean, I haven't really noticed any significant bad things about the frame rate or anything over the past couple years that it's been out. And I honestly think it's held up pretty good for the time. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. First off, the kingdoms. Boy, let me tell you something about the kingdoms. The kingdoms just work. And I don't know why, but it just seems like the kingdoms just flow with the game. Like, for example, in Luncheon Kingdom, it's a food-themed kingdom and all that, right? And the lava is supposed to represent stew or something, I think. And then you have the main enemy in this kingdom, which you would capture and use, the lava bubble. And I honestly just think that was so creative. Like, I honestly would have never thought of that. Now, all the kingdoms are great, let me just say that. But for me, some kingdoms really stand out from others. Like Cascade, which is, by the way, my favorite. I know people are gonna be mad at me, but come on, it's a great kingdom. You can't deny it. I'm sorry. Anyway, on a side note, the music, which we were talking about later, is amazing. Like, right when you go into a kingdom, you get this strong, confident feel in every kingdom. Like in Cascade, like, you get this strong feel and a sense, and you just know you're in for a great game. But then after you hear the music, you start the game off, and then you capture a dinosaur, and you just feel so powerful that nothing can stop you, and the game just goes up from there. There's also Metro Kingdom, which is something that Nintendo just thought out of the box, and they would have, I don't know, like, making a city as a kingdom. Genius. That's just a genius idea. I love Metro Kingdom a lot, to be honest. There's so much to do. It's like we're in a mini New York City. And when you're climbing up New Donk City Town Hall, which is basically a small version of the Empire State Building, and then you can literally jump off. No fall damage. I forgot to mention, no fall damage. It's great. And then you have these I say very, very slow taxis that I was gonna say go around, but more like slug their way around or snail their way around. And then you have people crossing the street, interacting with stuff. Like, it just feels so lively. It's such a fun kingdom. And Bowser's Kingdom. Let me tell you something about Bowser's Kingdom. It's different, but it's still kind of different. Like, for once, it's not your typical castle theme. It's a Japanese themed kingdom, I think. And that's just a great idea. I love how you got all these nice, beautiful clouds in the background. The music works, and everything just works. Because everything is either Japanese or Chinese. I'm honestly not sure, gamers. It's one of the two, to be honest. But honestly, it doesn't matter. I can't imagine the game without that. Now, those are just some highlights of kingdoms, and there, of course, are some kingdoms that probably not the best, to be honest. Like Cloud Kingdom. It could be a great kingdom, I think, if they expand on it. And Ruin Kingdom could be the same thing. You just have to expand on it, and not just make these two kingdoms just boss levels or kingdoms. Like, they have great potential, I think. They could do so much more for that. Nintendo just has to expand on those ideas and possibly make those kingdoms better for the next game. Nintendo? Odyssey 2, please, baby. Finally, the Mushroom Kingdom. I don't know. I'm saving this for the end, but the Mushroom Kingdom. It's not that I don't love it, and it's not that I hate it. It's just amazing. It's like nostalgia. It just works, and I love it so much. I don't know why, but the Mushroom Kingdom, you can actually say you've been to the Mushroom Kingdom in this game. Like, after you beat the game, that's a very nice reward, I think, they gave for us. And the kingdoms just work. Just work. Okay, so I haven't talked about it yet, but Cappy. Cappy is a big part of this game. Like, he is the new mechanic for this game. Like, Sunshine had Flood. Galaxy had the Gravity portion, I guess. 64 had, I don't know what it had. But Odyssey, honestly, Cappy, the addition, makes this game so much more better because it's a new concept for this game. You capture enemies and you can use their powers, and it's such a creative idea by Nintendo. I love it because you can throw Cappy literally almost anything, and you can come anywhere from a Goomba up to Bowser, and it's such a creative idea. I love it. Keep it up. Now, this game does have some little extra things, and I'm just going to highlight them here quickly. So first off, you got the snapshot mode, which I honestly love personally because I've taken so many cool photos with this mode. And I just think it's a really nice touch. And literally every game after Odyssey has to have a snapshot mode. We've seen it with Bowser's Fury. We need it in all the future games. Come on. You also got a ranking system for like the jump rope, volleyball, and the Koopa races, and there's a global system so you can see where you rank amongst the world leaders, and there's also a friend leaderboard where you can see where you rank amongst your friends, and that's just a really nice touch. We also got Luigi's Balloon Orb, which is a really the only update that Odyssey ever got, where you hide all your balloons somewhere in the kingdom, and people from around the world can go find it. And then there's there's not levels, but you can go from level 1 to level 2, and it's okay. I mean, I like it personally. It's a nice little feature. You also got assist mode, which is basically a guide. If you've never played Odyssey before, it's a guide of where to go and all that, and it's a nice little touch that they added. And the coin system. Now this game actually has coins to mean something, because if you die, you lose only 10 coins. I know it's not much, but hey, 10 coins is 10 coins, right? And you also have these purple coins in kingdoms that can be used to get, like, I don't want to say trophies, but little features from the kingdom you can buy from the shop, and outfits, and all this little stuff, which is really nice. And you can really tell the coins have had a lot of thought into them, because I think in, Wooden Kingdom, you got the purple coins are little gears. That's just so creative. Like, the gears, it just makes sense. Also, the costumes. The costumes are, there's a lot, to be honest, and I want to say there's over 50. I don't want to say there's over 100, but there's a lot. Those are all really creative ones. Like, it's just nice. Every game after this has to have costumes. They just have to. Now, every game has its flaws, and Odyssey is no exception to that. So, first off, I personally don't like in Odyssey is that there's kind of way too many moons. I mean, there's something like 880 moons, and I mean, I like it because it's a lot of extra game content, but a lot of the moons are easy to find, or you buy them from the shop, or you do some out of the world thing, and it's I don't know, it's just a little too much. I mean, I love it, finding all the moons. I've 100%ed it a couple times myself, and the game, and honestly, finding all the moons is always a joy, but I can see what people will not like, how there's too many moons, but yeah. And also, the easiness of the game. The game, for me personally, is just too easy. Like, it is easy, and let me just tell you that. But then, after you beat the final boss, it's boom. You can go to dark side or darker side of the moon, and the difficulty just ramps up so much. And I'm just like, hello, where did this come from? Like, I think it would be way better if they had a progression, like if it started easy at the start and then the difficulty ramped up as the game went on. That'd be so much more better. Finally, we have the multiplayer, and this game does have multiplayer, but one person's cappy. Honestly, that's just not much fun. Like, I don't know, it feels like you're kind of useless and all that. But if Nintendo gave us Luigi, and I know myself included, and a lot of people love having Luigi as a second character, because let's be honest, that is basically a true second player, basically Mario, but you know, Luigi. And I think that'd be such a cool idea. Again, Nintendo, please give us Odyssey 2. We're begging you. Now, Super Mario Odyssey is a fantastic game. It is probably my favorite game of all time. And what it says on the back case is so true. Mario's on a globe-trotting adventure. Yes, he goes around the world, captures these different things, makes friends along the way to save the princess. And this game is probably a true masterpiece by Nintendo. If it was up to me, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 any day of the week. But since we're going on this of more of a critical standpoint, I'll give it a solid 9.4 out of 10. And that's pretty good because this game is really good. It has its flaws, not a lot, but this game is fantastic. No wonder it sold over 2 million copies worldwide, because this game is a true masterpiece. Whether you've 100%ed it multiple times or just bought the game to beat it, you can't deny that this game is amazing. Now, I still haven't answered the question. Is Super Mario Odyssey still worth it? And to that I say, yes. Yes, it is.
Spin the wheel, take a chance. Every journey starts a new romance. A new world's calling out to you. Take a turn off the path. Find a new addition to the cast. You know that any captain needs a crew. Take it in stride as you move side to side. They're just different points of view. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. Come on and jump up in the air. Jump without a care. Jump up 'cause you know that I'll be there. And if you find you're short on joy, don't fret, just don't forget that you're still a one-up boy. So go on, straighten up your cap. Let your toes begin to tap. This